one of the biggest criticisms that after last week's episode was pretty much how could Trunks finish off Zamasu after, because the power scaling in Dragon Ball is kind of like messed up now, because Vegeta, in my opinion, is clearly a heads above Trunks, but the way Trunks uses Genki Dama blade to well, technically he doesn't finish off Zamasu. He finishes off his body, but the presence of Zamasu is taking over the world. Now, according to Kawazu, he's rejected as God, and apparently he's taken over as order and justice over the world. That's the way it looked to me. So I don't know what happened with that. You see Zamasu's face all over the place. Goku, Trunks, and Vegeta immediately trying to sort this out, but obviously Goku and Vegeta can't go to more than Super Saiyan because they're maxed out after going into Vegito. Actually, because of unleashing the final Kamehameha, that maxed them out. So Trunks, but they still try to put the triple team effort. It doesn't work. The end, they'll get sent to the ground, and the way it looks like is everybody on the world, except with the exception of the main protagonist, pretty much get wiped out. Obviously, that's a problem. And then while Goku is searching for the Senzu beads, he stumbles on the button to summon Zeno, the Omni King. So that's kind of interesting. And he mentioned something that I thought I had been thinking about, but I didn't think was going to come into play. Is that if he presses the button to summon Zeno, will a future Zeno show up? Because we didn't hear anything about that. So it does press, and Zeno does show up. It doesn't, obviously, he asks Goku, who are you? So that implies it's a future version of Zeno. And then he sees what's going on and says, this is terrible. Did you do this? And Goku said no. He points up to Zamasu, and instantly Zeno's like, I don't like this guy. I'm going to wipe him. I'm going to wipe out this world. Goku's like, listen, get to everybody else. Get into the time machine. Shit's about to go down. I like it because it's Trunks and everybody else is in the time machine, and Goku and Vegeta are like holding on. They go back into the past again, or the present, and Zeno just pretty much demolishes everything. So wiping out 6 universes is no joke. So even in the future world, now we go into the future, and I should say into the present, and we get a lot of answers anyway. First up, everybody in the past is able to see what's going on in the future, because that was kind of weird as well. But it turns out, I love Bear's expression when he saw Zeno pop out the time machine. That was priceless. But we come to find out that apparently a lot of answers to a lot of questions that I have been answering about the timeline in the Dragon Ball universe. Well, first off, Goku goes to see the present time Zeno, and the two, the future and the present version of Zeno meet each other, so they instantly become friends. I didn't see that one coming, but I guess it works out. And the question I have there is, which one is stronger, do you think? Imagine a fight between those two. So anyway, that being said, we do get some revelations by Whis. Apparently, the servant of Zeno was pretty much Whis' dad, so that was interesting. Although I guess it should be that much for the shot, because Vados and Whis are related, so it does make sense in that regard. He says, listen, you should pop to the Universe 7 at some point. So yes, so I guess they're going to be meeting sooner rather than later. I'm assuming we're going to go to next week. Is pretty much a standard episode with Shenron and all that. So I think after that is when we'll get into the new arc. So hopefully, but that being said, the end of the episode is pretty much Trunks' farewell, and we do get a few things about the future world. We says he can erase what's happened, but obviously he can rewind time, so he can erase what's happened in Trunks' world. But the thing he said is very interesting. He says, I can go back into the future and warn Beerus about Zamasu, about stopping him from killing the Supreme Cat, which affects kills off the god of destruction, Beerus, which and goes back to what I said a couple of episodes ago, that I did say it is possible that Zamasu, in this case Goku Black, killed off the Supreme Kais, and that clears up a lot of things that I have been asking. This, I didn't think Goku Black was capable, especially if Zamasu took over Goku's body. I don't think he was capable of eliminating any god of destruction, so that clears that up. And then Zamasu says, I should say, Whis says he had something else in mind. He had something better than Goku and Vegeta was going to take to use the Mafuba. So either he knows the technique or he knows something else. So that was interesting. And Vegeta said, "Oh, you could have done that anyway." But I love Beerus' quote on this. He says, "You relied on gods too much," and I agree with that, because since the beginning of the series, if it wasn't for Beerus sparing the Earth in Battle of Gods, the Earth would have been demolished. That's first off. In Resurrection of Earth, we reversed time, so the Earth didn't get destroyed by Frieza. And in the current arc, if it wasn't for Zeno, Trunks' world would pretty much still be demolished by now. So I do agree with that, and I think that may be the motivator for Trunks and Vegeta, I should say Goku and Vegeta, to like power up after this one. Because especially since we've got a tournament upcoming, so yeah, I do like that quote. Beerus says farewell to Trunks. He said they kind of leave on cool terms, so that's good. We do get the emotional farewell. Trunks saying goodbye to everyone, and it was the only one who thought it was funny as hell when the little version of Trunks saw the future version of mine, and it's like was blushing all over the place. I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, we do get the farewell between Goku and Trunks, and especially with Vegeta and Trunks. But that turns into a lot of sparring sessions, so that was kind of cool. And at the very end, when Trunks is about to take off, we get the farewell between Gohan and Trunks. And I love it because it's a transition between future Gohan and the current Gohan saying, "Take care of yourself." So that was cool. It was an emotional ending, and it was a great way to send off Trunks. Again, a lot of people had their complaints. I got comments all over the place about how Trunks can better Zamasu when Goku actually did the damage that caused him to mutate in the previous episode. So there's the plot holes from the previous episode, but with this it doesn't matter, because it's like a sending off of Trunks' character. So I can appreciate that. So that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video if you did appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Catch you guys later. Bye.